bidding farewell to the queen of rock and roll. Rest well, Tina Turner.
Tina Turner, the most dynamic soul singer in history, has fallen. No longer will her voice growl, cajole, and rise above. No longer will she prowl the stage with feline grace, sass, and trend-setting sex appeal. She is no longer with us after an incredible and glittering career. Let's touch on that career and her early origins. She was born in the tiniest of hamlets called Nutbush, which is just outside Brownsville, which is in Tennessee. You can find out the whole story about her upbringing in a song that she wrote, Nutbush City Limits. It's all there. She was born just after the Great Depression. She grew up during the Second World War, but she grew up mostly with her relatives because her mother couldn't handle these children, her and her sister, and so moved to St. Louis to try and find work when she was 11. Her father, the pressure was too much, and 2 years later he just absconded. He left the family. She was living with relatives until she was 16, and at that age she went to join her mother with her sister in St. Louis. And her sister would immediately start prowling the hot spots because she was a country girl. She was a very simple country girl with enormous confidence. If you look back at her growing up at school, she was a cheerleader. She was a softball player. She was a very popular kid at school. She wasn't a shy recluse at all. And the big city was made for her. There she went to go and see the Kings of Rhythm, a soul review, which was led by R.I.P Tina, who immediately cast his eye upon her. It was a jaundiced eye because he had ambition. First of all ambition, then he had desire in his heart. Tina Turner quite obviously had everything. Now, she was born Anna Mae Bullock, but how she got the name Tina Turner is her nickname growing up was Tina because she liked that it rhymed with Sheena, Queen of the Jungle. Very prophetic nickname because she truly was an absolute jungle cat. She's a consummate lioness. So at the age of 18, she joins R.I.P Turner's Soul Review, and within 2 years, she had the most incredible upswing in her career. First of all, she caught R.I.P.'s eye, and she became his girlfriend. Later, she would marry him. But she moved from being a backing vocalist to being the lead vocalist, and the most electric, dynamic lead vocalist anyone could have asked for. It was clear she had absolutely everything. She had the sass, she had the moves, she had the pipes, and she just simply was bubbling with energy and sex appeal. And it was kind of naive sex appeal as well. She didn't know what she had. Ike was very controlling of her, and he was very abusive. And that abuse got worse and worse as his drug intake increased with success and his penchant for petty crime. The whole thing would end in the mid-70s when eventually they had this long public fight, Ike and Tina Turner, which started in an aeroplane and continued in a taxi cab on the way to the hotel. Eventually, she could not take the abuse, and at that point it was physical as well, and Tina Turner stepped out of the cab. She had 36 cents in her wallet, and she had a credit card, and that's all she had. From that point on, she started rebuilding her traumatized life and her career. She embraced Buddhism. She found love in the end. And quite incredibly, she married a white record executive, and they'd met for one meeting. And on the taxi that they shared on the way back to the airport, they realized that they were in love. And it was a love that lasted, actually, all the way up until her death. She had serious problems with her kidneys, and her husband, Emil, donated one of his kidneys in an attempt to prolong her life. In 1975, she starred in the movie Tommy as the Acid Queen with The Who. This kick-started her revival and led to a glittering career in so many roles. As an actress, we remember her as Auntie Enmity and that incredible song Beyond the Thunderdome. We also, as a performer, there are certain things that you need to grasp. If you thought by the 21st century that was it for Tina Turner, people would constantly marvel at her legs, her age, her energy, her dynamism. But in 2000, she was the highest grossing entertainer in the world, which proves that she was really hot. It wasn't just nostalgia kicking in. She was also an absolute perfectionist. She was a one-take wonder, and she would always be able to record her songs first time off. And the reason for this, she explained to one of the sound engineers, was that when she's live in front of 500,000 people, she can't do a dress rehearsal. She has to do it like it is. And so she treated every single performance as if it was in front of millions of people. She was the ultimate entertainer, let's face it. She had the hits just kept on coming, and they didn't stop until she ended. her career. She had duets and collaborations with the most incredible artists. She had hits on her own. She had the stage show that blew the earth away. Beyond all of that, beyond the music, beyond the achievements, beyond the awards, she became an icon of strength, of pride, of survival, of sassiness and joy in life. Rest in peace, proud Tina.
Celebrating Tina Turner. Rest in